All right, all right. I see a Chris Mickle on the line today. Look at that. All right, we're testing a few things here, so you let me know, guys, if you can't hear me. Or actually, it'd be better if you tell me you can.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, I used your comeback the other day about a guy who said, he answers the phone and says, "Hey, are you a realtor?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Is it an expired lead?
Yep.
And he said, "Well, you're my 10th call today." And I said, "Only 10? Like your property's worth $1.5 million, and only 10 people are calling you?" And he just laughed, and like we talked for a little bit, but they relisted. But it's just like it just threw up. He was not expecting that, so it was
throws him for a loop, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
That is awesome. Love it. Glad you had the opportunity to do that. Glad you had the opportunity. So catch you guys up. Our team's Christmas party is today. So we're actually, yep, thank you, Chris. We're actually in Denny's game room right now. So for those of you old enough to remember actual real pinball games, surrounded by him. And he's got Galaga. So this is like the coolest game room on the planet because he's got Galaga. The challenge is he's using a MacBook. So it really confuses my fingers here. So, all right. I'm going to have to get a second computer going in a second. Denny will be upstairs momentarily. I think we got a minute or two before we actually start. Oh, look at that. We have closed captioning on. That's kind of fun. And Yael is joining us for the first time in a while. So that's going to be exciting. And I'm going to view this a different way here. See if I can. Let's see. And here's Denny. Denny, how do I turn this to grid mode so that we can see everybody?
We want to.
Oh, we may not want to, but we got to look at Rich because that's all we're looking at right now. And I'm not sure that's.
Hey. At least I'm good to look at.
So here we go.
You want me to go ahead and get mine on as well?
Yeah. Morning, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
There we go.
Hey, everyone.
Denny, what's the Wi-Fi password? Denny?
Denny, Hey, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I think it's about 1 o'clock. We will start right away. If you happen to see a different background here, it's because we're having the Christmas party, our office Christmas party at my house downstairs. And with that going on, there might be some things being said. I don't know if I want you to hear. Probably your little sweet little ears may not like it. They're having the fun down there. And so I happen to be upstairs in my game room. And I don't know if anybody likes game rooms, shooting pool, pinball, whatever. It's kind of my passion. So this is kind of a new gig. And of course, we get to do the role play together with John. So thanks for being on. And I trust you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And so what I'm attempting to do is the next time we have a call, what we're going to do is in the screen behind me, we're going to have a timer. So I'm upstairs. I do have our objections. So the way that we want to run this, if you want to be participating from an agent standpoint, if you want some growth, Sandra will probably be the first one. If go ahead. Yeah, I see that look. Go ahead and basically raise your digital hand, which means that you would like to be an agent for a 4-minute role play. Then we're going to kind of debrief it and break it all down. And we'll kind of go from there. So I see Rich. I don't know. Is that Rich? He's raised his hand. Anybody else got their hand up? Yael, hi. How are you? I saw you called earlier today.
Yeah.
Jacob, raise your hand.
I got this. Come on. I'm coming.
Got it. All right. So what's interesting is I'm going to throw a couple of little wrinkles in, and I'm going to give you actually a little bit of a choice. So the format's going to be today is that I'm going to give you a choice if you want a buyer or seller. So and then we'll role play. I may call on someone to be the buyer or seller. I may do it myself for speed. One thing I do want to say, if you happen to be the buyer or seller, kind of like be realistic. We don't want to be Marshmallow Man. We don't want to be Freddy Krueger, and be succinct. Okay. Because I want more of the time to deal with, for the agent to deal with the issue. I always start with the thought of the day. So here's my thought of the day. I'm having conversations with some people in Keller Williams about the popularity of actually having role play practice like we're doing. We have a lot of regulars on here and it's growing. We have almost 600 subscribers on YouTube, which thank you so much for that. Here is my aha. Tell me what you think about this. I'm always thinking about how can I share something that you guys have a V8 moment think, well, that made a lot of sense. What Keller Williams or Gary Keller, because I happen to be Keller Williams, has tasked this MAPS group, okay, it's called MAPS, coaching group, to put together a booklet of conversations. So Sandra, I'm going to come, well, I'll just ask you in general, I'm going to ask you a question. Imagine you're a tennis player. I want you to tell me, now here's how possible this is. I want you to tell me every shot you're going to make. Okay, it's the first game. You have the serve. So you're going to serve. Tell me what your second shot's going to be.
Backhand.
Anybody play tennis?
Yeah, I do. It's gonna
Okay.
be backhand,
How do you know?
because that's what I always do. I do play tennis. So,
So when you serve it over to the whatever,
yeah,
are you right-handed or left-handed?
right.
So then they would have to return it to your left side for you to have a backhand.
Potentially, I've just got a good backhand. I can run fast and I can get over there.
Is it possible that you intend to do a backhand? However, what they send back to you does not allow you to hit a backhand?
Then I would do a front hand.
Yeah, I rest my case, you guys. You see, there's people out there that want kind of a, give me what to say. That's like saying to a tennis player, here are the 4 shots you're going to hit. The only control you have is a serve. And what we're doing here, the serve is the question. Now, their response will dictate what shot we hit next. We have the model, which again, write it down because I want you to follow the models. We get started here. You acknowledge, you isolate and get clarity. You answer, then you close. So we're going to do that. And I've got my timer. John, are you logged in?
No,
All right. I'll help.
it's not taking us. That's all right.
That's right.
I got a timer here.
Okay. You got
Hey,
the time.
are you skipping on the, because I've got on my whiteboard, acknowledge, isolate, clarity, motivation, where's their pain, and then close.
Well, those are all subcategories, which is
Okay.
You've got the 4 major categories are acknowledge, isolate, answer, close. Now, we
Okay.
expanded the isolations for clarity, and then parenthetically, you have to understand their motivation and get to their pain. That's all in that, before you answer.
Okay.
Yes. You are a good student, Sandra. So Yael, you're the first
Right.
one up. First
Yeah.
one to raise your hand. And so do you want a buyer or seller objection, please?
So I have a seller objection and I want to be, a seller objection.
So, all right, so you're the agent and the seller objection, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I happen to know Yael. Yael is in the section and she's very much plugged into the Jewish community. So I'm going to say, rather than Christmas, it'll be generic. And this is probably, they have a lot of holidays, I've learned. Yael, thanks for coming over. I don't think that I want to list right now. There's a lot going on and I'm going to wait until after the holidays.
So
Time is set. Go.
other than the holidays, is there anything else? Oh, I get it. So the holidays is coming up. Other than that, is there anything else that is holding you back from selling?
No, I just don't. There's a lot of, we got company and we just better wait until the holidays is over.
Okay, and at what point after the holidays would you be comfortable to sell?
Probably, maybe, I don't know, you've got holidays like every week, it seems like. So I'm going to say, we're going to be okay probably around, maybe the last week of January.
Okay, and can you foresee, so once we kind of settle the New Year celebrations, end of December, okay, I'm gonna get to motivation. Sorry. Okay, so end of January, I get it. And tell me what's the reason that you're gonna be selling your home?
Well, we don't need, our last child just got married and now we've got like this 5-bedroom home and we're kind of rattling around in this. We'd probably like to get something a little more manageable.
Okay, and what will that do for you?
Well, it would just be less hassle, less money. And so
Okay,
Yeah, we just don't want the hassle anymore, the maintenance.
I get it. And then if you do, let's say January comes and you decide that something else came up in your life that you want to postpone it, how will that? What is the pain of you staying in your home?
Well, are you asking me, 3 weeks? We're talking about maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I don't think that we're gonna die in 3 or 4 weeks. And we just want to get through all the, get all the decorations down and all that other stuff.
Okay, so let me just refocus. So basically, if let's say for whatever reason you don't sell and you end up staying, what will that look like for you and your family?
That's not even a possibility.
Okay, so why don't we sign the papers for end of January? This way I can get started on listing your home. And we're good to go.
That last statement was very confident, Yael. So, all right, so she crashed and burned in 2.5 minutes. Okay, so no, I'm kidding. So let's go ahead and let's stop it there for a second. How do you think you did?
I think I was just a little nervous, flustered a bit, because I'm like rusty, but, I mean, it's hard in a role play because you don't have the rapport where that's established. I don't really know much about you as a seller.
How do you solve that?
I don't know. Listen.
I'll start by asking, right?
Right.
So what did you miss? You did a really good job of getting a commit to list 8 weeks down the road. What did you miss?
I have no idea. What did I miss? I missed probably lots of things. Maybe other people could chime in.
What was his motivation?
He needed to downsize because his kids moved out of the house, and he was going to say
Is that the reason?
that he's selling.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
How many times did you ask?
Once.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to ask 5 times.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Doesn't have to be 5.
But they're the layers. I remember
You
you
need to layer it down though, right? So you say, oh great, you're gonna downsize. What are you gonna downsize to?
Okay. Okay.
And what is that gonna do for you and your wife? What experiences? So now you're bringing out the feeling of the move, which is your leverage. Without the leverage point, you have nothing.
So, John, I'm going to go through this again. So let me ask you. So you got, if you got the listing signed, it's going to be 6 or 8 weeks from now. It's kind of a sort of a win. Where you probably didn't take me is pain. So let's just go. Let's keep it the same holiday thing. We don't have to, you can ask. Don't ask the same questions. Just pick up where Sandra, you're next. I'm going to wait until after the holidays. You've got to be thinking, what would be the pain of me waiting a month? So let's, Sandra, you want that?
Sure.
What? I can sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so
She's got a minute and a half.
You're on the clock. Go.
Okay. Just ask. Okay. So Denny, my understanding is you want to wait till after the end of the holidays. How is that going to affect your family if you wait that long and the market does shift and we have a bigger downturn than what we're already having now?
Well, it won't affect my family. It's just me and my wife. My daughter's, we just married her off. And so you think it's really going to change that? You think it's really going to change that much in 6 weeks?
Well, unfortunately it could, if the Fed is going to raise the rates again, there's a high probability nationwide. We're having a 45% decrease in pricing. So what we could get for you today could be 600,000, but in 6 to 8 weeks could be 550, 500. How will that make you? Will that have you in good graces with your wife?
Well, if that happens, don't you think, if we downsize, what we're buying is going to go down too? So it's kind of a push.
It is. It's kind of a yin and yang. I would agree with that. But, is that going to make a difference to your net income?
So I'm going to stop right now. And John's kind of the third party observer right here. And I'm going to say, okay, she attempted to go to pain. However, how does that pain, how does she know the financial pain is my pain? It's cash. It doesn't really matter. So it's not moving me. Now, let's be realistic here. If you're going to get a listing now versus 6 weeks from now, it's still a win. However, I want you to be confident enough to push for it, because realistically, I don't think the market's going to crash 45% or 25% or 15% in 30 days. It could. I don't find that believable. What would be another? So Sandra, you're still going to come back to something. I'm going to go. Who else would like to take that and land? And we'll just do it one more time and take me, because you're going to deal with this over the holidays. How else could you handle it?
Could I try to finish it?
Who's that?
Me.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I'm going with the direction that Sandra took it on of how this is how I would propose it. You know, you can go ahead and wait till the end of January, or you can make the decision to go now. How will that look for you if you do it now versus end of January?
I just said it'd be a mess. It'd be a cluster to go through with company coming in and all this crap. So I just want to wait. We don't want to have that hassle. So we're okay waiting.
So sometimes when you sell your house, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. So if you wait till end of January, you're just delaying the pain. So just, if we do it now, we can kind of just imagine if you knew where you were going to be by the end of January, instead of having this 6 weeks of this unknown. What do you think?
You're not moving me.
You're selling.
I'm not trying to move you. I'm not trying to move you one way or the other.
You sometimes want to use a cookie, like you want to get the dog to come over, you use a treat. You're not laying a treat in front of me.
I'm not trying to.
Well, you better, because I'm not.
Who am I to say that selling your house now versus in January is better for you? You're the one to say that, not me.
But there's a legitimate reason why I might want to think about it now. What is it?
Well, there's a possibility that in January, the market will be slower. There's a possibility that in January, the market may be quicker. What is the reason that he would want to sell right now versus in January? We don't know.
Well, all right. Anybody?
Start the year fresh, like new energy.
Hang on. Last call. We got Paul raising his hand. Paul, and if you don't get it here, I'm going to give you the answer. We'll go on to number 2. Paul,
okay. So you're thinking about waiting until the end of January. Your big concern, I just want to acknowledge your concern about having people through your home during the holidays. How many people do you think are out there?
Hang on 1 second. Did I say I was concerned with people going through my home?
You said that it would be a mess. You'd have a bunch of people in your house, and
I'm thinking about my company and
company in your house. So you don't want to keep. So I'm hearing what I'm hearing you're saying is you're worried about keeping the house clean for showings and having people come through the home. Is that your concern?
No.
Over the holidays?
No,
it's not. So what is concern with having company over during the holidays and having your home listed?
All right, now he's starting to drill a little bit. Rather than one size fits all, what is the concern? First of all, if you're going to be talking about the holidays, you better get clarity. They might be talking about Halloween, okay? And they don't want to do it until Valentine's Day or Halloween. So here's the concern. We have company coming over. It's going to be a mess, and people are going to be laying around in their pajamas, this, that, and the other. And it's just, I don't want to disrupt my family. This is our annual event.
So it is, you're worried about people coming to see the home while you have company over.
I am not at all worried about people coming to see the home. I'm worried about disrupting my family.
Disrupting your family with people coming. Maybe we're saying the same thing in 2 different ways.
No, I get it. What I'm illustrating is, make sure you're seeing it from my vantage point. You're talking about, I'm worried about them. No, I'm worried about my family.
So repeat it
worried about you
like that.
So you're worried about your family being put out, having somebody come look at your home while they're there. And
hang on. No, you're right. I want the rest of you guys to see, because this is mastery level. We're going to point out these little things because we're used to saying something the same way all the time, and it's not necessarily what I'm thinking. So go ahead, Paul. 1 minute.
Okay. So I believe that we're on the same page. How many people do you think are out there looking at homes during the holiday?
I don't know. Good question. How many?
Well, there's not as many as normal, but why do you think the people are actually looking at homes during the holiday?
Well, they probably want a house, or they're bored.
Well, in most cases, if somebody's looking at a house during the holiday, it's because they need a house. they're motivated and they're trying to either get in that house before the first of the year or Christmas. So these are generally pretty serious buyers. And if we could bring in some very serious buyers prior to the new year, would that benefit you?
Okay, now I like the way he's going, and so he's on. So let me put a kind of a bow in it. Nice job, Paul. The only thing that I would change on what he's doing, and here's where you want to take me. You want to lay the cookie for me is this. What if that right buyer, because he's making the case, only serious buyers are looking, wouldn't you agree? Well, what if that one buyer was out there? Now, when he says one buyer instead of buyers, what do you think I'm thinking of relative to my concern?
It's not going to disrupt your family as much.
Yes. What if that one buyer was out there, maybe that 1 in a million, that basically was willing, maybe could pop in and may not even want to really disrupt your family. Maybe if we walk around the outside, if we look at the pictures, what if he would give you your price and your terms and it wouldn't disrupt your family? I mean, would you want to miss out on that? You see, you're attempting to, don't give me a one size fit all. You're tempting me to have the cake and eat it too. John, do your magic and close that out. We'll go to the next one.
There's really not much magic to it. You did all my job for me.
All right. Well, see if you can't get logged in. See if you can't get logged in.
Let me see that passcode again.
Yes.
Okay. Which network am I on? Denny or?
Yeah, but Denny, everybody seems to be selling their, it's just when I hear everybody, they're selling their, side. Like, oh, I want you to list the home. I want you to list. No one's digging deep, going into really what that person's, just keep asking questions, what's got you worried about, selling the home, and then try and find a solution based on that. It's like, hey, how about if we, you tell us which days that you're concerned about, tell us what, which days are you concerned about having family over? Because we can block out those days. Digging in and finding solutions. I think everybody's trying to, sell from a book. And it's like, it's so easy. Be a human being, find out what his problem is, and then figure out the solution to those days. And it's so easy if you just lead people forwards and just, explain to them benefits.
Got it.
And then, get to his problem. Which days are you worried about? Which, is it Christmas? Is it Thanksgiving? Is it Halloween? Is it Hanukkah? Do you have like a 5-week period? We can block out those days that you're not, that you don't want to show the homes, those stress days, which are, we could do a Zoom. I could hold up the.
Got it. We got it, babe. You're exactly right. The other side, though, the other advantage you guys have is that, the other thing that would appeal to me is, what if that you want to downsize? Have you been looking? What if the right property became available? Would you want to take advantage of it? Here's my point on the holiday issue. I don't think you want to lay the card. Maybe the market's going to change inside 45 days. I have a hard time believing that's going to be that believable. There's got to be another lever. And Tom was talking about that. Put the shoe on the right foot. So that's awesome. Who next has their hand up? Tom, yep. Who? Jacob. All right, Jacob, you got your hand up. Buyer or seller, please?
Buyer.
Are you nuts, Jacob? We were looking this past summer, which was awesome. But right now, interest rates have gone up 3 times. And with rates the way they are, ain't no way I'm going to buy right now.
Okay, Denny, I can understand that. So besides the interest rate, is there anything else holding you back?
No.
Okay, got it. So what about the interest rate specifically has you worried right now?
Well, I think my payment's going to be a whole lot more. I was looking at 3.25 when we were last summer, or maybe it was May we were looking. Now it's like 7. Are you nuts? So I'm probably looking at, I don't even know. That's just a lot of money.
Okay. Well, it's gone up in that amount of time. What do you think it's going to do in the next 3 months?
I don't know. It's probably still going to go up.
Okay. So what if it goes up again in the next 3 months and you wait and you wait and you wait? What's that going to do for your family?
Well, I'll feel pretty good about where I'm staying because I'm not paying more money.
Got it. Okay. So you have a house you have to sell right now in order to get into a new house? You own your house or are you renting? Basically what I'm asking.
Okay, because I was wondering where you were going with that question because I never even talked about that, right? So, well, no, I'm renting.
So you're paying 100% interest then?
It's
I love that line.
it's interesting how he said that. It's interesting. Now,
It stopped you in its tracks, didn't it?
well, only because of this. Yes, because most people don't do that. However, and there's nothing wrong with a brick upside the head. However, remember, most people hearing that for the first time will not get it,
Makes sense.
right? So, wow, I don't, what do you mean 100% interest rate?
So if you're paying rent, I'm not a numbers guy like John is, but if you're paying rent, basically you're paying 100% interest on the home that you're staying in now. So instead of paying 7% interest on a home, right now you're paying 100% interest. So if we wait for the rates to go down, you might be waiting 10, 15 years before you can actually get out of paying 100% interest.
Yeah, I do realistically think it's gonna be 10 or 15 years before the rates go down.
Good. You never know. We don't really have an idea.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I think having a $4,000 house payment is scary to me.
Completely understand that. So now we're looking more at the house payment, not really the interest.
All right, so let me just say that when people bring up rates don't mean crap. It's payment.
Mm-hmm.
So you better take them to numbers. So
Okay.
it's always going to be payment. Now, so drill down there, Jacob. How much time we got?
On his role play?
Yeah.
You're way over 4 minutes.
We are not. Okay. All right, I'll give you 1 minute. Go.
So dream scenario, what is your payment you want to have a month?
Well, I'm paying 2,800. I maybe it was 2,500. They just raised me to 2,800 now, and so I don't know. I mean, that was pretty comfortable. Maybe a little bit more.
Okay, a little bit more. So top of the bar, maybe 3,000. So let's say that I can find you the perfect home, regardless of the interest rate.
Up for him.
There you go.
Oh man.
What you say?
You said,
Don't define his top.
Okay, got it. You're right.
Let him do that. His top could be 5,000, and you just said, "Oh, I can get a house for 3,000."
Okay, got it. Makes sense.
Right. There's the brick up the head.
all right. Jacob, thanks. All right. So anybody else want 2 minutes on the same thing? 2 minutes, buyer objection. You can have your hand up or not. 2 minutes before we go to the next hand raised.
I just want to say point, Jacob. That's all I want to say.
Point, Jacob? What does that mean?
Because he threw you off your game just a little bit.
He didn't throw. No one.
Yes,
ever.
he did. He stopped you in your tracks, so get over it.
All right.
You don't know.
I'm actually going to mute you and get rid of you right now, Sandra. Okay. All right. All right. Next up, John, is who?
Rich Gibbons.
Rich, buyer or seller? John, you're going to be the buyer or seller.
All right.
Buyer or seller?
Let me work on a seller.
Okay, seller. Seller lead is okay, I'll give you one that we've done recently. I think we did this a couple weeks ago. You know what? I want 600,000 for my home, and I don't like the numbers you gave me.
And we're starting now.
All right. And what was it about my numbers that you didn't really like?
Listen, my neighbors sold their place for 600. We got essentially the same house, and 525. That's $75,000 difference. How do you feel about losing $75,000?
Well, I think we both would agree that I wouldn't like that either. However,
So how do you think I feel about it?
I totally understand. And so going back to why you need to sell here, John. So if you mentioned, if I remember correctly, your kids are out of school, you're ready to go to the 55 and up community, right? What else is helping you move? What else do you need to move for?
55 and up. Yeah. So Rich, you just lost points on that one.
That's what you told me in our conversation last week.
You're wasting time, guys. Let's go.
So,
right.
yeah, the bottom line is we do want to get to a different place, and we need the full value of the house, and everything that I'm seeing. In fact, the stuff that you showed me from just a couple months ago is showing at 600,000 is still a reasonable number.
Right. So what we've seen is 0.8%. This is what one thing we went over was 0.8% per month. Right. And so maybe today it's at 525, although you don't like that number. I'm an honest guy and you're an honest guy. That's something we've connected on. If we were to list your house and just sit on the market and then the rates and housing prices continue to drop 0.8% month over month, right? And then in 2 months, we're having this conversation. Now we're at the 505. What would that make you feel like? You probably hate me a little more, right?
Well, so at that point, I wouldn't move.
Okay. So, oh man, you wouldn't move because you just didn't like the price and then we're going to sit here? Well, how would your wife feel about not moving? Because she made it pretty relevant that she wanted to get to that other community, right?
Yeah, she also understands the fact that we can't afford to do what we can't afford to do.
Okay. So the housing prices you're looking at getting into, right? If they're dropping the same amount you are, right? We're basically dropping apples and apples at the same time. They're coming down at the same rate, right? So either way, if rates continue, if housing prices continue to go down, that same house you're looking at buying over there, right? That's still coming down too. So it's basically leveling out. It's not like,
don't forget, I'm buying down. So if my house drops in value, the other one's not dropping equally. If my drop 10,000, that's only dropping 5,000. So that means the gap is bigger.
we're talking numbers, not percentages.
Yeah, hard dollars.
Hard dollars. Okay. So if your house continues to drop and that other house continues to drop, and we're still sitting here next year and having this same conversation, but both houses have dropped value, right? So then we're still talking the same numbers, whether it's 0.8%, 0.8%, right?
1 minute.
But what's significant about getting to that community over there? What do you like about it?
It's not necessarily that community. It's just that we're, like I said, we're looking to get something a little bit smaller. We're looking to simplify life a bit. And one of the big challenges is life doesn't get simpler with less money.
Okay. What else is it about the money that's really driving this? We're just talking
Money makes
dollars.
my life simple.
20 seconds.
I'm stumped. You gave me a hardball. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. No, this is going to be pretty common. So John, you got a couple comments and I'm going to do it again.
So, and kind of unfair to you, Rich, is you put some of the scenario in there that you hadn't clarified. Okay, by going into a particular type of community and so forth.
Okay.
Where I would have gone with it had you asked is I was looking to get into the mountains with a trout stream in the backyard because I miss fly fishing. So
Find their motivation, not imprint mine. Right.
Yep. So when we're doing these role play, guys, be careful. I know we're trying to do this in 4 minutes. Don't put your DNA on their dreams. Because then at that point, and we all do it when we're in listing appointments and buyer consultations, don't we? We make assumptions based on some of the things we've heard. We saw that with a couple of the other role plays earlier. You make an assumption. If you don't go deeper, guess what? I'm digging my heels in.
You did. Yeah.
Because at that point, I'm having a hard time trusting that Rich is going to be able to get me to where I want to go because he's not understanding where I want to go. That makes sense?
So let me, you guys watch this. Hang on, buckle up, even you, Sandra. So what I want is this. Watch how easy this can be. Now I'm going to, who was doing that? That was
Rich.
Rich.
That's Rich.
Yep.
All right, you're going to be the seller. You won 600,000. Got it?
Got it. Yeah.
Awesome. So are you saying, Rich, if we were to list for $600,000 today, are you ready to list with me?
Yeah. But I'm not going to go any less than that. So don't bring me any lowball offers.
Okay. So however, now we looked at the past sales. We have them here right in front of us. We've got it 500, 505, and 510. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I see that. But I got fully updated cabinets, kitchen, granite countertop. My house supersedes those, and the amount of money I put it in, right? I need that money back.
Okay, now I wasn't bad with you. Okay, so you don't have to be Freddy Krueger. That's okay. I'll still handle you. So here's the deal. If we're going to so at least you acknowledge your house may be more improved than those other ones, right?
Yes.
However, that number with a 6 in front of it hasn't happened in your neighborhood, correct?
No.
It hasn't happened, has it?
No.
Okay. So follow me on this because I'm going to get this done. So if the market were to give you 600,000 for your home, you would win, yes?
Absolutely.
And would I win too?
Yeah.
So
You get the sell.
can you see we're on the same team?
Yes.
So awesome. Let's knuckle bump. Okay, now we've agreed on the initial asking price. So here's the question you guys would have to ask next. Now, I know we already laid a card, and sometimes people are paper tigers. So what will you do if the market says no, Rich?
We'll stay here. I need that number. The amount, what I put into the home just makes sense for me.
I got it. And I knew he was going to say that. So this is Sandra was talking about the expanded model. We have to go to motivation. So this is where we're going to go to motivation. So you're selling for a reason, Rich. What is it?
I'm moving to Montana.
Awesome. And what will that do for you?
Get me out of California.
I don't blame you there, baby. And so when would you like to be there?
4 years ago, Denny.
Okay. And so, so you want to be there 4 years ago. So basically you're pretty anxious to get there, right?
Oh yeah.
What if the market never gives you 600? Then what?
I guess I'm not going.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
No.
Okay. Tell me more.
You know how it is out here. I need to be somewhere where I'm a little bit more free. I need some open space, and I like to hunt and fish. And although I have that here, I don't have the same freedoms, I think.
So if you could get top dollar for your home and it's not 600, but you could get top dollar and then have your freedoms that you're talking about. Notice I'm working on his words. Would that not be a win-win for you?
I guess it makes a little sense since you put it that way.
So all I'm suggesting is this. I'm on board with you. We're on the same team. We're going to initially put it on the market at 600,000. And there's 1 of 3 outcomes are going to happen. Now, does this sound familiar to you, John?
Yeah, in fact, Augustina just posted it. She just posted it. Good job, Augustina.
Now we're going to bring in the 1 of 3 outcomes. And here's what we'll know. There's low to no showings, there's showings and no offers, or it sells. And so what we're going to do every Monday at 4 o'clock, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to launch this thing and we're going to let everybody know about it. And you know what? Let's find out what the market has to say. And I'm going to stop right there. The difference in the two approaches is this. Number one, I love the example because, first of all, have we not discovered in the last 2 years, at least the last 2 years, that we don't know what it's going to sell for? We've done a CMA and we've, add the fudge factor of 10, 20, 40%, and you still get 1,800 offers for 40 or 50 or $150,000 more. So let's just get over ourselves. We cannot predict Powerball numbers 3 hours before the drawing. You're not going to predict what it's going to sell. And every one of us on this call, if we're totally honest, cannot say with 100% certainty that Rich cannot get 600 grand for his house. So quit fighting it. List it. It's his number, not yours.
Real life example. I just signed a contract for a listing that went pending this morning. And she's way overpriced. The thing's 30 years old, never been updated, nothing done to it. everything in this complex, it's completely remodeled with quartz and tile and brand new stainless appliances. Hurricane windows is selling for $280. So you put all those, you take all that stuff off the table. This unit's worth $225. She had it on the market for $300. Just went pending for $280. Cash, as is. We're wrong sometimes, guys. I was wrong. I told her not a nickel over $250. So now she has the right to take it to $28,000 or $30,000 to the bank and saying, I'm right, you're wrong. So we're not always right.
That's why, and we'll go on to the next objection. We've got time for two more, is that maybe three. I'm not a fan of giving prices, guys. I'm only a fan of showing them what's happened. You can tell them the direction of the market. Let them pick the initial positioning of the price. There's one of three things that can happen. Let the market do the heavy lifting.
On the 1 to 3 outcomes, it's showings and offers, no showings, no offers, showings and no offers, right?
No, did you put that in the chat?
I can put it in the chat.
John will put it in the chat. One is a load of no showings. And I actually get my hands involved. That means I'm showing the gap. Every one of you out there, every agent out there, if you have a listing that's been on the market for a period of time, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, or maybe it's a year, and you're having low to no showings, basically you're fishing without bait. There's no amount of open houses. There's no amount of advertising. You can have a Toby Keith concert in the backyard. It will not cause that home to sell, okay? Oh, maybe if you had Shania Twain, I would show up.
I would show up.
Low to no showings. Low to no, not no showings, because they had a showing when Obama was elected, right? And the other thing, and I keep saying this over and over again, when you guys have a showing and you send a feedback report out, do not ask them what the other agent thinks about the price, because it freaking doesn't matter. The market will always tell you if you're right. Next, whose hands up?
Thomas Mark, and then Madeline.
All right, Thomas March. All right, you had a good input, Thomas. Buyer or seller?
Let's do buyer.
Oh, I thought you'd say seller.
I thought so too, but I changed my mind.
Okay, I'll change it around a little bit. All right. I don't want to buy in this. You know, I thought maybe things would be better after the election. They don't seem to be any better. I don't think now's a good time to buy.
You know, Denny, makes total sense. The news that we're hearing, everything that the media is saying, you know, all that information is, you know.
Don't be a political analyst.
Hang on just a second. I'm going to, Tom, let me ask you, have you ever done the DISC?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you a C?
D.
What's your secondary one?
A C.
Okay. Going back a couple of role plays that John, I forget who was doing it, the guy, and I made some notes, he was using a lot of percentages, 0.8%. You guys, when you start talking numbers, you better slow way down. In fact, don't even talk numbers. Make it simple.
Don't talk numbers with me because I'll own you.
So Tom likes information. And so what John says, don't be a political analyst. When you do the acknowledgement, just say understand. The more you add to it, the deeper the hole becomes. Okay. You understand, Tom? Just say, I understand. Keep going.
Understand. Makes sense. What's got you looking at buying a home?
Nice. Now he's going to motivation. Well, I mean, my wife, even at her age, she's pregnant with triplets. So we need a bigger house.
Pregnant with triplets. Wow. That's some real motivation to get into a new home. What type of home are you looking for? How many bedrooms?
Okay. Now I'm going to editorialize here. When we start going into the details of what they want, blah, 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 at this early of a point, that's generally a sign is you don't know what to say. And so now you're just going to fill it full of stuff. Bedrooms probably is not important yet. You know my motivation. I need a bigger house. So because we're attempting to get this into 4 minutes, and in reality, you could have that conversation and build rapport. That's okay. I'm just saying in 4 minutes, let's go to a more important question.
Okay. So you need a bigger home. Again, I'd come back to, what size is bigger for you?
Again, it probably, let's get off the home thing, because that's not my motivation. That's what I want, but that's not my motivation.
Okay, well, I mean, you obviously want a bigger home because you've got triplets coming.
Ladies, what would be my motivation?
Wife.
Time frame? Like by when?
When's the babies coming?
Yeah, you gotta get them moved before those kids start popping out.
Yes. So ask me that question, Tom.
As far as, when were you looking to make the move?
No, Tom.
It goes like
Denny,
this.
when is your wife's due date?
No, Sandra, even you can get excited with this. You're having triplets? Holy cow, when?
Tom,
That's
how the
it.
hell are you gonna- That's a lot.
Yeah.
I know, listen,
Okay, that's a really good point. I like that.
Sandra
I like that one.
sent me a text that you did something really nice for her. She wants me to give you a hug, but afterwards. So
Okay.
I'm just warning you.
So, all right. So stay on track. We'll take one more minute. Let's keep going down this.
Woo, triplets
How we
coming
learn, you
along.
guys. I love you guys. This is how we learn. The triplets are going to be, what would it be? It would be, let's say, April.
So they're coming along in April. Wow, that's not a lot of time to be finding a home. So so you threw me off track as far as it goes. So okay, so looking at April. Now
Go back. I'll give you clarity. Well, I'm a buyer. What is my concern? I'm dragging my feet because I don't think it's a good time to buy.
okay.
I'm facing with getting 3 more human beings in my house in April. Something's going to give.
So yeah, April's not far off. So you're feeling though that the market's not the right time for you to buy.
Right?
And God, I've lost track now. This is fun.
That's okay. That's okay.
This is fun.
Sit tight. It's phone a friend. Who's going to help?
Do you have room in your house right now to house the 3 babies?
Well, we do have a garage.
Well, I don't think your wife's gonna be okay with that. So we need to probably get you guys moved prior to the babies coming.
Ask.
But do we need to get you moved prior to the babies coming?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's not going to be very happy unless we have the space. So, I mean, I don't think it's a good time to buy. I don't think it's a good time for triplets. However, guess what? Triplets are
It's a personal problem. Sorry on that one. But what we can do though is this is what I would do. I would say, let's look and see what's available on the market. Are you open to that? Just so that we can see if we can find a home that will fit the needs for your imploding family.
I would get a little bit more direct. When it's a binary thing, though, do I have motivation?
You do have motivation, big
Okay.
motivation.
So, like someone's being transferred. Let's not even have fun with the triplets anymore. Someone's being transferred. Well, I don't want to sell it at that price. Okay, well, you're being transferred, then I guess you want to stay. Well, I can't stay. I'm being transferred. You see, when it's binary, they have to make a decision. Are you going to raise the 3 kids in the house, or are you going to get the larger space for your family in spite of how you feel about the market? How would you ask that?
I always come to financial. That's my
But
direction.
I was just going to say, because I think I would go, because I just did a reverse offer for one of my clients. And I would say, well, Denny, if it's the money side of it, and I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention, but if it's the financial side of it and you're looking at the interest rates, we can always go to the seller and ask them to buy down, do a 2-1 buy down on your interest rate.
It's way too early in that conversation. You have to find out listen, there's one thing is going to win. Either we're going to get a bigger house or I'm not going to buy. However, in this situation, I have to move, even if I don't want to. In a transfer situation or a death or divorce, you have to move, even if you don't want to. So I would say, hang on, Sandra, look, you got your family's, which pain is worse? Staying where you are, raising your new baby or your triplets, or basically making the investment and getting your family settled in spite of how you feel about the market?
The pain would be staying in the house with the babies.
Okay. Now at that point, you don't have to go into buy downs and affordability, because I never raised the affordability question.
And that's true.
When I said I don't think it's a good time to buy, it had nothing to do with affordability. And what I'm getting is, just don't assume that.
Okay.
John, we got another one.
Let's do Natalie.
Natalie?
I know do you have anything on expireds in there? Because I know she wanted to work on those.
You can pick one out.
All right. Natalie, you got me.
Okay, let's do it.
So Natalie reached out a week or so ago asking for help on expireds. So,
And Jurgensen did as well.
so did Ann, I know, but
She's
you know,
on.
you raised your hand, she was shy. So
And speak up if you want this right now.
you can be the phone a friend, Ann. All right, so Natalie, you are calling me,
Okay.
and I've been on the market for 6 months. So go ahead and call.
You have been out of market for 6 months?
No, I've been on the market for 6 months. I just expired. So call me.
Ah, okay, okay. Hey, John, this is my Elise.
Start with ring ring.
Okay, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, John, this is my Elise. You got a few minutes?
Are you another real estate agent?
I am. What number am I? Like 15 today?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Like, this is getting old quickly. And
I
have very little patience for this. What can I do?
I
for you?
understand. So I'll be right to the point. I noticed that your house on Main Street was off the market recently, and I was wondering if you're still considering accepting an offer.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so who's next?
Me,
Come on, Yale. Same start.
say, ring, ring. Ring,
Hello?
ring, ring. Which one am I picking up from where she left off, or I'm starting again?
You start clean slate. We only got like 19 seconds into that one, so clean slate. Hello.
Ring, ring. Hey, this is Yael. I saw that your house recently, are you the owner of 123 Main Street?
God, are you another real estate agent?
I am. How's your,
Go to Jacob, please. He had an awesome script yesterday. Do it.
Who do you want to take it?
Jacob.
Already told him before you got on.
Jacob got
Burned out, Yale. Sorry.
I did not finish.
You burned
John,
out.
you asked if I was another, no. Yes, I'm another real estate agent. You had such a beautiful home. Did you get any offers on it?
Nope. Click.
Go to Jacob.
Hold on.
Nope.
Click it again.
Go to Jacob.
Next. Come on, Jacob. Put what you learned to the test.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
Oh God, are you another real estate agent?
That's right, I am. What number are I on today?
Oh, I don't know, 15 or 18. How can I help you?
That's it? Only 15? I'm looking at your house. There's only 15 people calling you because it expired.
Apparently.
That's crazy. Is that not surprising to you that your house is that beautiful and only 15 people are trying to sell it?
Better get on with
Yeah,
it.
that you're taking high D right
Okay,
here.
sorry, one too long. Sorry. So are you still looking to sell it?
Nope. Click. Ask this question. The house, Jacob, you were on the right track. Okay.
Another question I
House
want to
is
ask.
beautiful. How did it not sell?
That's what I was about to say. I know exactly what I
How
wanted
did
to
it
ask.
not sell?
One.
That's not a yes, no question. Now I've got to think about it. My agent was a bum, never did any open houses, no advertising. He told me he could sell it for this. That's, by the way, that's real, guys. If you're calling it expires, those are the three biggest things. My agent's a bum, never heard from him. My agent's a bum, never did any open house. My agent's a bum, didn't advertise. My agent's a bum, priced it too high. There's a common thread there. You have about 22 seconds, and that's not an exaggeration. You have about 22 seconds to build enough trust to take the conversation forward with somebody who's this annoyed at our industry. 22 seconds.
So
What-
aside from how did it not sell, what's another like question you can ask before they hang up?
Well, first of all, that is the best opening line I've ever heard. How did that not sell? And they're going to say, you're the professional, you tell me. How come you didn't show it?
Yeah, where were you when my agent had it for
Yeah.
sale?
Where were you when it was for sale?
Who knows the answer to that one?
Why don't you tell us?
All right, awesome. Well,
Where were you?
well, all right, so John, well, here's probably the issue. I mean, when an agent lists the house, he has to really sell it to two times. Number one, he has to sell it opposite to a buyer. However, the agent should have to sell it to other agents because we have buyers too.
Isn't all that stuff already in MLS?
Yeah, but there's a lot of noise on MLS, and quite honestly, your agent never took the time to sell it to me. I won't make that same mistake. Would you like to know how I get home?
Boom.
Go
Anyway,
on.
whenever you, here's
What are all the
the,
do with that price other than price? Because everything you said, it's all about price. So what did the agent have to do to sell to the other agents other than reverse prospecting and email blasts?
are you being a seller now, or are you just being sassy?
Sassy as could be. But I still want to answer.
Denny,
The
pull up
bottom line,
Wings.flag.
we're going to have more in here in role play as far as your outbound lead gen calls, because you're going to have to make more of them. And when you do those, you're going to have to be like spot on, like John said, 20 some seconds, or can be ins and noms, and I'm a D, you better get to it. Don't ask me how I am, get right into it. And when you make a statement, hear me. When you make a statement, what follows that? When you make a statement, then what?
Open-ended question.
Yep. Ask a question. You've got to ask questions to control. Now we've got hands up. I think that maybe didn't Mandalay or she played, right?
Yep.
Just in mine, yeah.
Badina.
David, where'd you go?
Got Luke. Luke already played one round.
No, Luke didn't play today, did he?
Luke, did you play?
I did not.
All right, here we go.
Luke steps up every week though, so this is good.
Buyer or seller?
Okay, let's deal with can we do expireds again? Because I really want to get into that.
Sure.
Was that a choice?
Yeah, it's a seller about expires.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm calling you up and
And you always start a phone call with what?
Hello.
No.
Ring, ring, ring.
Yeah, ring, ring.
okay. All right, ring ring. Is this John?
I didn't answer the phone yet. I always wait for it to ring twice.
Okay, ring
Hello?
ring. John?
Hello? Yes. Who's this?
This is Luke. I'm just a local realtor. I know you're probably getting a million calls right now, right?
Yeah, Luke, I am. You're like 1,000,001. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I know it's probably super frustrating, but hey, I noticed you had your home up for sale and it expired, but was you only asking $400,000 for your house?
Yeah. So here's the problem. I'm going to stop that right there. I'm a seller. If I let him in, I'm expecting to list it for 450 right now.
Yeah. Now let me ask you. I'm curious here with what you're doing. Do you make expired calls?
I have not yet. I mean, I've called like 3 or 4, but like other than that, I've never actually done it on a regular basis.
So for the purpose of role play here on this class, and I'm glad we're doing this because I just had an aha. I never want to practice an expired or an outbound call unless you have a script, because you're going to be making it up. And I promise you, whatever you say as you make it up will not be as good as what somebody's already prepared that's been tried and true.
I do actually have a script right here, but
Well, okay, well, you're making it up because I was really curious. Would you call and say, I'm just a local realtor?
Yeah,
that actually was off script. You're right. I did. That was an ad lib. I don't know why I said that.
Guys, real simple. You're making expired calls. It's real simple. Hi, this is John McLeod with Denny Grimes and team at Keller Williams. I noticed your home came off the market last night. What happened? Get your name, your company, your team out in the beginning. Just get it out there.
I've actually told my team to stop saying they're with Keller Williams, just say they're with the Marconi team because everybody from Keller Williams is calling.
Fair
So
enough. ID who you are with. And if you have questions, ask your broker, because I know Augustina's broker will make her say that she's with Keller Williams, Fort Myers, and the Islands. So if you need clarity on that, ask your broker. Don't say I'm a local realtor. Because in my market, there's 8,500 local realtors and 7,500 of them haven't sold a home this year. You guys are better than that. Don't associate that way. Set yourself out right from the beginning as an expert that they didn't hire.
So we're getting top of the hour. That is awesome. John's really good at those outbound calls. This is how I look at it, guys. If I were single, I wanted to ask, my heartthrob is Jennifer Aniston. If I want to ask Jennifer Aniston
Mine
out,
too.
what would
I'm 20.
I'm closer to her age.
she likes older guys. So I would want to practice my line. Okay. Whatever you say, like what John just demonstrated. Hey, I'm Denny Grimes with Keller Williams. Get to the question, because that's controlling it. And we will work on that. If anyone on this call wants to work and perfect that, maybe we'll set up another little call and we'll work on it together. However, I want you guys to have a script. When you do your sphere calls, and you could be doing those, you don't need a script. You can just, you be yourself. And the other thing we're going to work on too, moving forward, is the transition. I've run into a lot of agents, John, that will make calls. They don't know how to bring up real estate. And there's off ramps, there's things that you can be asking them that will allow real estate to naturally come up in the conversation. So any ahas here? I appreciate you playing full on. I've never seen so many hands up.
Yeah, no, this is great. We're getting a lot of participation. It's awesome.
So what did you hear today was worth your hour of time? Just go ahead.
What scripts are you recommending for them to use? Or is it the map script, or is there a particular script that you have that you'll provide?
We'll put some together.
Okay.
We'll put some together, and Maps has some, and I'd never built my business on expireds or by owners. I'm as you notice, a lot of the conversations we have are at the table. That's where I made my living, is having people come in and knowing what questions to ask to get them engaged. So we'll get that. Before you go, you guys, what did you learn? Come on.
Don't put your DNA in somebody else's dream.
All right, awesome.
100% interest.
I like
I like that phrase.
I like the introduction, making it real quick and asking exactly what happened. Just what happened. Boom. Keep it open.
Yes. What happened? Is
Stay
your
with
home
me.
still for sale, et cetera, et cetera? Keep going. What else did you learn today from our interaction?
Then I'm out of practice.
Me
One-
too. Don't worry, Thomas. Me too.
One thing that I want to say, I had an aha the other day, and I want you to write this down. You know, you're hitting the sweet spot of a conversation when you ask a question or give them some information and they say the magic words. You know, it's not please, it's not thank you. Here are the magic words from your buyers and sellers. I never thought of that. When you can have them say that, now you're actually throwing your pick into the vein of gold and not just rock. Thanks for being on. We're going to be back here next week, same bat channel. We love you. We appreciate you. If we can add value to you, let your friends come in, and you can text me anytime you want at 239-851-4600 if I can help you. And John, you can give your number too.
Yep, 239-357-8938. Chris Mickle, tell your market center. Have them all come out, man. This is free to any KW and non-KW agent. It doesn't matter who you are. Every Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, we're doing this. And guys, you can bring sandwiches and pizza if you're in Dallas or if you're in Colorado, all right? Because it's lunchtime for you guys.
And if you happen to have Jennifer Aniston's number, let me know.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Later,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.